All right, folks. So right now we're walking down U Street, Northwest Washington D.C. As you can see, this is an area where there's a lot of restaurants and clubs. Basically where people come hang out at after work on the weekends. Okay, so we're walking towards 14th Street, Northwest Washington D.C. And eventually, if we were to keep walking in this direction, we'd eventually, get to Georgetown. You got nice cars and everything else out here. Okay, so as we speak, we are approaching the corner of 14th and U Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. Okay, so I'm going across right here. Okay, so folks, we're currently walking down 14th Street, Northwest DC, and is approaching Trader Joe's neighborhood grocery store.
But we'll try to work on that. Yes.
Frisco
be like a 20-minute walk anywhere.
That is some Vietnam food, Vietnamese food. Vietnamese street food and bar. Okay, this is Chicken and Whiskey that we're now approaching.
It hasn't affected my activity.
All right, folks, so I'm not sure if you see what's happening. So the restaurants did, some of them, they extended tables right up against the restaurant, like this one, while others chose to extend their tables out into the street, which, excuse me, in actuality, it actually looks like it's giving them more space and more tables if they can extend the restaurant out into the street. Okay, so this restaurant and bar, the red light, I've been past here several times and I've noticed this is their normal setup. So they've always had tables outside like this. So this is more eating with out the street, extended out to the street. And this bar right here, also I've noticed that this is the way, that's their usual setup. And yet more creativity for the bars, just having people out here. Only problem with this is if it rains. So if it rains and they're out there, they're kind of out of luck. It's Pearl Dive, Oyster Palace. Okay, so I haven't really mentioned this, but right now the direction I'm walking, if I was to continue walking this street down 14th Street, I would end up in downtown DC, part of where the monuments are. As a matter of fact, I will end up right at the Washington Monument. However, I'm going to turn around now. And also, just for those who are kind of familiar with DC, going this direction, I mean, you'll kind of see more bars, people out in the street eating. That direction, it heads to DuPont Circle and on further to Georgetown. All right, but at this point, I'm turning around, going back up 14th Street so we can continue just seeing what's going on, how people are eating, how people are handling of this part of the pandemic, trying to really open back up now. All right, so here, I believe there was a theater right here that you can see they're doing some construction on. Not sure what it's going to be next. But one thing I can say, that this part of DC, like I said, all this is considered the 14th and U corridor. And so there's condos, apartments, houses all along. And so even throughout the pandemic, people didn't have to drive here. This was a place that they could easily just come grab some food, come sit down and eat. So as you see, I mean, there's a few restaurants and businesses seem like they probably suffered during the pandemic, but at the same time, there's a lot that are open. It's not like you see half the block boarded up, anything like that. Even inside, people still, having a good time. This restaurant here, I do not remember this being here, so I believe this is something new. Right here, might have to come try it out. Okay, so here's another thing. So if you're ever in DC in this part of town, this restaurant here, La Diplomat, that's one of the more popular restaurants here. And sometimes I have family or friends that come visit, and and they've told me this is a restaurant that their friends have told them to come to, that they've stopped by. So there's La Diplomat at 14th and Q Street, Northwest. Okay, so it's still even more creativity. So you see, if you come to La Diplomat, this is their seating, outdoor seating here, on top of what you saw back there. And I guess since this is a church right next to it, so here we go, there's a church. So it seems like they got pretty lucky in the fact that they was able to put up this seating. And to be honest, they probably actually have more seating now with all this extended outdoor seating. So they probably have more seating now than they did, prior to the pandemic.
happens every day.
About the importance of mentorship. You're the president of college. Right.
Salt and Sundry. So this is another thing about DC, well, this part of DC is, as you walk down the street, you have all these kind of historical signs, basically tell you, what part of the city you're in, where it fits into our history. Just notice this is Amazon Fresh right there. So this is something new. I guess I put this here over the past year. So one of the other things that DC has a lot of are these beer gardens, garden type places. So here's one right here, another place to come visit if you're in this part of town.